Hey hunters, HaloZoo here with another video in the Prehistoric Kingdom all in one part. Real quickly before we begin, I realize now, having looked back at some old blog posts and stuff, yeah, I was a fool. They've already announced the other mammal that was coming, and, Janky Mammoth. Uh, yeah, we're getting Panthera, Spelaea, and Atrox as well, so that does kind of screw up the plan here. If it does come out before this series is over, I'll do it as like a bonus episode, like a bonus part 7. And I'll probably just line up the Panthera, the cave lions up here, and then like Elasmotherium here, maybe. Something like that, just like throw it together real quick, or maybe cave lions are in a section like this that goes out here, and then Elasmotherium's right here in another thin section, maybe. I don't know. But the point is, I was stupid, and because this is recorded like way ahead of schedule, yeah. But anyway, ceratopsids. Got another 8 animals here today, with 8 being kind of the common number, I guess, because they have 8, they have 8, they have 8. But, yeah, ceratopsids. So this one's going to be a very interesting one to do. So we're going to start, I guess, with Protoceratops right here. So these little guys have a much smaller enclosure, but they're going to be desert and scrubland. So let's actually, I think I'm going to go with more of a desert theme here, because, I don't know. I just like the idea of using desert theme. It's not going to be crazy like when I get to Triceratops, because Lord knows that's going to be fun. No, grassland grass, actually. Okay. So now we go to water mode. Give them a very tiny pool. Let's say have these all here. These two by each other. This one here. One. Have this at the bottom left. There we go. And of course, we're going to have a segment of Scrubbyland. Scrubby scrub. Because in the desert scrub areas, it's like, you know, it's like desert anything, it's very hard not to like go for the classic put the water in your not desert area. I think I'll go, I think that's a respectable area of scrubland right here. So this is going to be basically all the ceratopsids except Psittacosaurus, because Psittacosaurus is designated as a small dino, because I wanted to have 6 segments, and small dinos was like the best idea I had for one. I'm actually going to go a bit bigger here. I think right there. There we go. Okay, so anyway. No, I want animal care, actually, for shelter. Oh. Remember to set my angle snap. We'll go for this one just because I think it has a lot of potential. So we're going to put... Oh. Well, here, let's... So let's put it like 1 meter. No. There we go. Okay. So then we go into modular pieces with foliage. We go down to desert. And we just disable this. Well, actually... Yeah. Not a fan of it. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. That was an FPS drop. I don't know if that was an autosave or what, but I think it was looking in that direction. Okay, we're not actually dropping that many frames. Miraculously. It's not that bad an FPS drop, but... There we go. Okay. Kinda... you know what? Let's just... Okay, we'll delete everything but that little segment of plants. That still affects it, apparently. Let's go with this. 10% on 20. Okay. Then we go over to Scrubland, and we remove our bendy palms. We'll go a bit more generous with this one. Because this is supposed to be like the oasis area. So there we go. Okay. So that's actually pretty good already. But what we're going to do is further refine this. There we go. I think that is looking lovely. Okay, now to double check what our guys eat here. Ceratopsids, or Marginocephalia. Well, I know fractal was one I didn't want to do. But plants and insects. I think Goby is the best one. I like to be a bit crowded, so I'm thinking 10 for the enclosure. Okay, so now we get to do some... Okay, so this is going to be our plant feeder. And then this is going to be our bugs. Bugs! And then fruit. Boop, boop. Bugs. Boop. Boop. And then all that's left is our 10 Protoceratops themselves. There we go. They're looking nice. Our little quill rows. Alright, now I just need to make sure we delete any trees erroneously placed outside the area. There we go. Hmm. That's looking nice. It expands out into the desert. Which is surprisingly foresty, but oh well. Okay, so next up, I think I want to do Pseudoceratops. So we're actually going to grab these guys now. I think they're just pure plants, as I recall. Yeah. They don't like to be too crowded, but they got a bigger enclosure. Hmm. Yeah, I like amber the best. Well, I think I'll go with 10 as well. Just because I think it'll be fine. But we got our Pseudoceratops. So these guys do like a wetland, so they're going to want a bit more water, I think. Basically, whenever wetland shows up, they usually get bigger water pools. It's not going to be deep, but I am going to make like a little... Well, I say little, but, you know, more than little. And then these guys are tropical, right? Yeah, tropic wetland. So it's going to be mostly tropical, I think, but with plenty of area given over to wetland. I think I'll have to do this using the pebbles. So I can see where I'm planting. There we go. Okay. So then their home is going to be... Oh, how big are Nasudo? Not that big, actually. Yeah, one of these will be fine. I think. Okay. So here we go with the dense jungle. That obscures the Ceratopsid's little home here. Make sure they get lots of privacy. And we don't want any gaps, so that should be good. Well, nah. There we go. I think that's pretty good. And so their secluded home. Where literally nothing can cover it, so. But I will, however, have some like ground covery plants over here. To kind of obscure the pathway. Oh. Just that. There we go. Okay. So the Pseudoceratops go in and out through here. They eat vegetation right here and then here. And then they have fruit blocks here, 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 and here, I guess. Okay, so now we go to wetland grass, and then actually, no, do that because we're actually going to plant our swamp forest first. So we're going to go to 20% 40, I think, is a good one. So then 20% for... Okay, I'm gonna redo this because I think I've got a better idea on how to solidly do this. We're gonna go with purely the trees first. Focus on planting them here. So that's not looking too bad. And then we go just deselect these plants. $15.15. And then give this area a good solid once over with that brush, and then voila, the swampy area is done. And now we go over to the tropical brush. We go into K-poke mode. And 40 meter, 20%. Get our... And then we go 20%. 20 meter, 10. Get a nice solid canopy up. There we go. Okay. Now you got a solid canopy. We are going to select our trees. With a solid canopy. Okay, I think most of this has been done well. Yeah, it's looking very... Well... A very dense jungle going. Because Triceratops is also going to be bad. It's actually going to be the worst, honestly. Because Hell Creek is a fun formation to work with. Let me tell you. Though Tarbosaurus in the Theropods video is going to be hell itself, but I think I'm very happy with this. Yeah, it's looking rather random, but I think at this point that's partly a lost cause, honestly. Okay, Because the one thing with, like, tropical wetland is... I think tropical and wetland have very similar grass. So the normal advantage of both is that you can actually tell you're planting its grass. Doesn't really matter when you're doing both at the same time. So yeah. There we go. There we are. All right. This should be ready for ceratopsids. There you go. Yeah, crowding's fine, actually. Water seems surprisingly low compared to what I've set it to, but... Ah, well. They should be fine on water. They got plenty to wallow in. Okay, so these are our Triceratopses, which is... Oh, boy. I mean, I could do these guys. They don't actually... remember what they all liked, but... I might get one of my favorites, actually. Styracosaurus. I'm not the biggest fan of any of these designs, because I think they're all rather dull. Like, I mean, I say that. I don't know, they don't strike me as much. And I feel like they could do a lot better with the sexual dimorphism, because I feel like it's not that noticeable. Like, I don't know. It's just... I don't think it works as well here. But you got your Styracosaurus albertensis. So they also like swamp, but they also like coastal. So, you know, they like similar stuff to Nasutoceratops, but they also like that coastal forest. So, you know what that means, right? I think if you've watched thus far, you'll know. That's going to be a big deal. As for how exactly I want to design this, I'm thinking we have a... So let's get our, like, water area first. So they got a pool of water here. Now, this is where their wetland is, so let's mark it. So I'm thinking we have a wetland here. So this is where the wetland stuff is. You know, by their water and all that. Okay, so there's our wetland. And then we transition to a tropical region, which I'm going to represent with substrate. So it's like, you know, this band of tropical forest, which I'm going to actually have extend pretty far. Because I want plenty of tropical. Even if it's like, you know, a chance to do coastal and all that. I think there's a lot of fun to be had with tropical as well. I think tropical is admittedly one I'd say is actually pretty strong, but then we're going to go over to coastal, and we're going to use its substrate to represent what the coastal segment is going to look like. As it extends out. From the tropical area. Voila! It looks hideous right now, but we're going to make it look good. Trust me on that. So we're going to go over to plants now. So I got to make sure we get maybe a nice wetland grove here. So I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. So then we hit tropical region. Now, tropical is going to be, as normal, a bit of a pest to do, but we're going to... Mostly because I wish there was something else like K-Poke that made like a solid canopy. But hey, it's, you know... It'll work. Okay, so there's our tropical region done. We select everything but these, I guess, and then... We just go crazy from here, I guess. That's a rather verdant area. It leads into the swamp. So then we're going to go over to grass. And make sure not to... So I had to get the substrate over, but... You know what would be nice? Like, you know, like the paint bucket tool in like art programs and stuff, where you pick a color and then like the color replacement deal in like paint programs and stuff. I wish I had that right now. You know, that, but for terrain. So like I could just press this like tropical substrate and then I would get tropical grass, where like just straight up replaces the terrain. Like one terrain completely with another, I think would be nice. Also maybe a and this is like a definitely like hard maybe. A way to like biome paint that actually let you plant foliage and terrain. So it was kind of like a dual brush where you're planting like plants and then also planting a or like painting terrain at the same time. I think that'd be very cool to have as well. This at least would be very easy. Because I'm doing it now at least. There we go. There we go. I think that's good. There we go. Okay, anyway. I do actually want to get the, because they only like foliage as well, but I want to get the feeders and stuff done now at least. Have it like there, I guess. And then we're also gonna have one, yeah, here, and then it'd also be like here. There we go. Anyway, for housing, I guess we just have same thing, I guess. Because they shouldn't be too much bigger than a pseudo. Size compare. I think they're like slightly bigger, so, but let's actually compare you to their house, which is what's important, because if I want to use the same house, then there we go. This is going so slow. Anyway. No, they do not fit under this one. Horns are just a bit too tall. So we do need a large one. Just to be on the safe side, really. But then we get the bedding, which I'm gonna actually go... I'm gonna go with only 4, but then have it like that, maybe? There we go. There we go. Anyway. ferns! Yes. Lots of ferns. Okay. More than enough ferns have been planted here. This is actually looking... This is nice and cozy, I gotta say. Oh, yes, yes. Okay. Anyway, now the stuff that actually kind of matters a lot more. The terrain, where we make sure you get rid of all this substrate here. But at least here I can kind of see the line of where the where I draw the grasses. Or well, paint the grass. It's coastal form. 30-meter brush. Bam. Bam. And then we go back to substrate on, say, 15 meters. And we just do that. Voila. There we go. There is our lovely deal. There we go. Voila. Okay, now we need a coastal forest for the Styracosaurus. Now, we're not going to plant the ferns just yet. We're not going to worry about them. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to actually go a step bolder. And I'm going to go with a very dense coastal forest of pines. Because why not? It's just, you know, it's a great set. And then here's what we do. We go to like 15, 10 meter. And do the most important thing and plant all the ferns! Yes! Plant all the ferns. Because there's never enough ferns. Never enough. I probably could have even cranked it up, but oh well. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know what, we're gonna actually just gonna remove the ferns. And we're gonna go 15 meter 30%. And really get this fern situation sorted out. And voila. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah, I need to make sure there's no true ferns. In the way here. They're beautiful and all, but can't really have them blocking the way too much, you know? And I think that is... Yeah, it's just... It's just not enough foliage, I think. I think it needs to be a bit denser. Of a forest. I feel like this could use some fine tuning, so I could like put like kind of give certain plants better weights, maybe. So it's like I can tell it, hey, I want to plant more redwoods than other trees, or I want to plant more ferns and stuff, and maybe like individually control certain things. Maybe, I don't know, but have sort of a... There we go. More forest than they'd normally like, but oh well. I hate this. I did. I forgot that's not tropical. Oh. There we go. Make sure the tropical trees are gone. And then it'll still show... Oh. Do they not care about what kind of ground is... covers used? No. That's... So, what we're gonna do... Just for my sake... More than anything... Just to plant temperate grass. It's pretty much identical to coastal, but oh well. It's fine. Kind of. So what we're going to do is actually, I'm going to expand the wetland. Because it is temperate, so... I'm just going to casually expand the wetland a bit. There we go. Okay. So then we go over to temperate, and then we're just going to select our I'm gonna put bamboo with ground cover this time around. And 30%. 30 meter. Yeah. I'm just gonna remove the oaks. Add back the bamboo. Hmm. There we go. Stupid temperate. Okay. And we add our ground cover back. But this time for the temperate stuff. We call it a day. There we go. Doesn't look too bad, but... Man, I do not like temperate. I feel like what I could use is more, like, ground cover variety. Especially because the seasonal stuff is meh to me. Yeah, there's our Styracosauruses. Excuse my stupidity. That wasted some time. I'm gonna skip Triceratops because that's gonna be... Oh, the worst part is I have to... Because I think this is the first time we've gone to Hell Creek, too. And there's 4 dinos from Hell Creek. There's these 2 T-Rex and Edmonto, but I think Brontosaurus is the only one. Yeah, because this is Anectons, and this is something else. Who is that? Because I think that's a grassland one. Oh no, that's Tyrannosaurus, isn't it? But So first off, which is getting coastal? I think it might be one of the Triceratopses. It doesn't really matter, but I think let's... I need to solve this now. It's gonna take a bit. I think I actually... Well, I think it would make sense if... I think I'm going to give T-Rex temperate. Or, no, I think I'll give them scrub, which would be a more open area of the... Well, no, they don't like scrubland. Well, maybe T-Rex gets to be, let's say, temperate, because that's what I'll have as my grasslandy section. Then we'll have Edmontosaurus be wetland. So then one of these is tropic, one of these is coastal. Which was my favorite? I think Verdant and Sigil. I like... I think Sigil's my favorite, so I'll make Sigil the coastal one. And this is Horridus. Which it actually placed here, but oh well, it doesn't matter. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do Prorsus first. they don't like as much crowding, so we're gonna only put 6 of these guys. But they are bigger, to be fair, but... So this is the tropical one, which is going to be right here. So this one has a bias towards being tropical. So... I'm thinking... So, first off, you know, we got to determine our wetland. Because that's the first important step. So, our wetland is over here. I also just realized that this is a connected wetland segment. But, oh well. Let's actually get ground cover started now. Because we're not using grassland in this one. So we're going to set this up. So this is going to be an interesting one. There we go. Okay. Anyway. So now I've got wetland. So let's... Something like that. Those actually kind of connect decently well, but... Here, we'll also kind of try to line this up. So then this one is going to be more coastal themed, but we'll just set it up with... Do the setup with substrate. So you start getting it covered. So this one likes a jungle, but I'm thinking, how do I want to do this? I can have like a temperate plains here, perhaps, that... Okay, so then... There we go. Okay. Okay. That's starting to come together in my mind. And then that leaves a big, like, coastal forest. Down here, yeah. The idea is coming together. And they got a jungle down the middle. No, mine, please. So yeah, and then the tropical, or tropical substrate cuts in like here. Yes. That actually is looking pretty decent, I think. Let's grab the temperate substrate and make sure this is nice and neat right here. Voila! The Triceratops prorsus enclosure, where we're actually going to expand the coastal segment just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do now is set up their housing, which I believe I actually want to use this. So we're going to... Actually, I'm going to take... this. No. This. Oh. That actually looks ugly. I'm going to take this one. So, merge groups. Duplicate the group, and we take it over here. Plonk it like here, and also like here, maybe. And we got to make sure we plant no bendy palms, please. Bendy palms suck and can go die in a hole where they belong. Okay, let's just deselect all real quick. Grab some very low to the ground plants. And then continue the fun. Voila! Haha! Also, this shelter works for trikes, right? Yeah. I just want to make sure, because trikes are actually big. Yeah, they're kind of on the big side, so let's actually do our tropical grass. Actually, kind of Yeah, I want to do it now. I should be very careful of that part, just because it's... I'll probably have to go in, like, precision do it later, but, you know, it's problems you expect. Actually, this is nice and grassy. Then we get this, like, 15-meter. Get, like, around that. Voila! Okay, maybe extend the substrate connection. There. There we go. Okay. So that's where they sleep. And then... Let's get really precise with this. So... Bam! Okay. So then for wetland... Bam. Okay, all within this. Actually, no. Undo. Select the trees. Select all the trees again. And then... Kind of love that moment when you have to deal with the silly divide, or like lack of a divide between ground plants and trees. That's one of the like lingering mechanical issues I have with this game. Because, like, don't get me wrong, it's still amazing, and I still prefer playing this over Planet Zoo. It's just... there's just a few little problems that get in the way of the game being, like, you know, as good as it can be, let's say, you know. It's great. It can just be so much better. With, like, a little more polish in a few areas. And I think this honestly has a lot of potential to be, like, one of, if not the best, like, Zoo Builder games since Zoo Tycoon 2, because I'll be honest, Planet Zoo never really hit the same highs that original Zoo Tycoon 2 did. And it's, you know what, it's mostly down to the fact that I just think that at the end of the day, Planet Zoo, I think it really just, it was always too grounded. It's a very, like, realistic, nitty-gritty game. And I think Zoo Tycoon's charm and, you know, some of the best parts of it was just how kind of goofy it was at times. Because, like, I mean, you could have a dinosaur paint wearing glasses. Like, come on, that's pretty funny. I gotta say, and you know, that was like part of what made Zoo Tycoon was it had this sense of humor and charm that was just so nice. And I mean, this game does also kind of take itself very seriously relative to Zoo Tycoon, though I think that's partly due to a lack of proper, like, yeah, this is what we're doing. There we go. Okay, so there's the understory. I forgot to remove bendy palms. Let's actually go 30%. Yes. Okay. I think I'm actually gonna do like a tall, like trees mode here as well. Or no, that was what I do want to be planted. We're gonna drop down to 15% because this is gonna be taller stuff anyway, so. Theoretically, I should be doing this. In hindsight, I should do this after K-Pokes, but that's not what we're doing here. Yeah. Full hindsight, do K-Pokes first as a note to self. But we're still making this look good, so that is goal unchanged. Method needs some correction. I might actually do that. Actually, let me just make sure this is a dense jungle right here. Okay. There we go. That's a very dense jungle. And it's about to get more dense. I think I actually pretty much... I think I did a great job with it. That's a very dense jungle. So... that's junglified. Let's do birch and elm. That is... Here, let's add the bamboo as well into the mix and... yeah. I think maybe have just the one elm. Hmm. So I didn't plant any of the elms, but... there we go. More open, temperate region. There we go. I think that doesn't look half bad, I don't think. There we go. Okay. Also need to remember to place my vegetation feeders, which are going to be in the temperate and coastal areas. And then fruit block here, 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 and here. Or actually, let me do that there. Yeah, that'll do. And now we go to the coastal. Or I want it to be... There we go. Okay, now we're ready for fernification. We're going to get really dense with ferns. So we're going to have a lot of them planted. You make sure we get them bleeding through. Because why not? And voila! Here is the fern forest, the wetland, into the temperate. I don't know. But, oh well. Not sure what to term this, but select all. And boom. Oh, there's cinematic tracking. But yeah, that's our 6 Triceratops. Prorsus, I believe. Which leaves Horridus, which is going to be fun as well. But I might actually pause the video real quick at this halfway point before I finish this video, but I'll be back in a second. Alright, sorry, I just had to use the restroom and get a drink and all that. Okay, so what we're going to do... So first off, we want to get rid of all the plants. Because that's just how we do it here. So... that is terrain that's not supposed to be there. Okay, so we're also going to have a temperate, and then... I actually have an idea. So we like go around like here. And then it's right here is our temperate segment. Where our leaf litter is. There, okay. And then we've got a tropical region marked by its substrate, which extends out around here. I think that's a good way of adding it in. I'm definitely going kind of crazy with what all I'm doing with this, but I think in the end it'll pay off wonderfully well. There we go. Okay. Voila. But let's actually... There we go. Okay. Okay, that looks... No, that's not the right substrate. Be a bit more aggressive here. As you erase it, so... Bam. Okay. This is our place now. So, what we're going to do... I'm going to start planting here like this. But I do also need a segment of water, which is going to be right here, like this. So we're going to go over to the wetlands. Plant first, actually. Only 10%, but we're going to... you know what? We're going to plant like this. See how it goes. Yeah, I think we go with trees because there's a lot more ground cover, so that makes problems trying to get there we go. Okay. So there we go. And we just delete any trees that are in the water that we don't want. So those. And now we add all with our planting tool. And then go 10% 20 meter. So we make sure all of this is covered in wetland plants. Like so. And then we're good. There is our wetland forest. But then we go over here to our temperate segment, which I think is bigger than our tropical. So what we're going to do is quickly remedy that by making sure this is just a bit smaller. Make the tropical a bit larger. There we go. That's too much larger, actually. There we go. I'm satisfied with that, I believe. Okay, so the temperate area, we're going to use a very similar model as we did here. We're going to just make sure to be very careful with it. I have to use 20 meters here, but there we go. We're going to remove these, but there we go. Okay. So this will just randomly plant stuff. Where I want it to. There we go. Then, just deselect everything. And we're going to go into what we'll call our ground cover mode, which is going to be the bamboo and stuff. There we go. Okay. I think we'll actually undo that, but we're going to plant these. Oh, undo that last one. But I think that's a good count on that stuff, and then we're going to do these, but we're going to be a bit more aggressive at 15 meter, but keeping 10%. And there we go. That's a pretty decent setup there. We've got so the tropical. This time we are very much not going to do what I did last time. And we're going to do our main trees first. So everything but the K-poke that I consider a tree will be done. Just so I know I'm satisfied with it. And its density. Let's get a smaller brush. So I can focus fire areas that I think need more. Because it's a lot easier to work with this. Okay. Okay, I think that's a good setup there with those, but what we're going to do now is go to our ground covering mode. And then we're going to meticulously just cover this in the ground cover, which I believe includes ferns! I believe there's one type of fern in tropical, but I don't know. Make sure it's nice and dense with foliage. Maybe get some good foliage cover. And then it's on to the important part of getting the K-poke coverage down. So let's get the K-Pokes down, and boom. The jungle is pretty good, actually. Let's also double check my, how it look with the food deals here. Not half bad, actually. Let's get our ice blocks. Boop. 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 And yeah, boop. There we go. There's our ice blocks. So now what we need to do is something that I actually put off doing, and that's getting this properly hidden. There we go. Okay, let's go to Super Fern mode. Get a nice, like, fern plane down here. Voila! And then now, it's time to get the forest itself done. I think 40% 20 is going to be good for this. Just get, or 40 meter 20%. Okay. So we're going to go 10% 20 meter. And make sure of that being good and satisfactory. So bam. Bam. Okay. So I'm going to ferns. And this is where we go crazy. So that's 20 meters, 60%. Which should get a very dense covering of ferns out there. Because ferns are ferns! Yeah. That joke is probably getting old, but I don't care because ferns! Ferns! Yes! Oh, look at those ferns. Okay, now it's time to plant some grass because this is looking hideous otherwise. Let's actually do... Let's get tropical out of the way because this is going to be a bloody nightmare. Let's do, like... Because I can't tell if I've done it all. Like that. Let me just... What's that one palm? Wait, what? Okay, anyway. That's good now. So let's get to temperate, which is going to be annoying as well, but... Let's go like 25 meters and... Call it good? Yeah, there we go. Okay. And we're gonna worry about... Oh, I kind of have to worry about this now, don't I? But we're gonna... I like that. There we go. Okay, and then wetlands. Look at that. So we are going to have to do the watercoloring as well. But fortunately, this should end up being very easy. There we go. And go back to mud, I guess. And 30. There we go. Okay. I think that's good. Yeah, that's overall looking good. Okay, so then... Did I put the... Yeah, I put the ice blocks. Second guessing myself, dang it. Lag spike from autosave. In thinking about it, having some thoughts, and I think this is going to be it for this episode specifically. So that's going to give me more time until the next project, but just because this is taking really long. I kind of apologize for that, but you know, I make the video as long as I feel it wants to be. In this one, well, this one wanted to be pretty long, actually. But yeah, that's just what happens when you go crazy. And this is not boding well for theropods. Oh boy, that's going to be a video. I can already tell you. Because I'm going to have to deal with frickin' Tarbosaurus. And it's not even like... And I'll be honest, I was tempted to put Tarbosaurus in a big enclosure, but I'm like, well, actually, how could I not put T-Rex in a big enclosure? And, you know, Spino kind of needs it more. Right? Because, you know, I want lots of water for Spinosaurus. You know, it's... it's just one of those moments where it's like, oh gosh, that's like actually thinking about what it's gonna take to do it all. Oh gosh, it's gonna be quite an undertaking. So I think this might end up being an 8-part. Well, not even 8-part, 9-parter, because I've got 10 hadrosaurs to deal with, and then 8 theropods. So yeah, I think I'm gonna about call it here. First, the most important thing actually is going to try Ceratops, going to Sigil of Fortis, and grabbing them. Select all, release. There are our 6. Like, back here. There we go. Set it to track again. And they have a nice coastal forest to explore and live in, which I think has been turning out very consistently good, in my opinion. He's going for his ice block. There you go. But yeah, it has been part 1 of the ceratopsid madness. So next part, we will be dealing with the pachyrhinosauruses, which will probably be much shorter. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video of Prehistoric Kingdom all in one zoo. Like and subscribe to stay tuned for more videos similar to this, and whatever else comes next, such as the next project that will not be revealed until the finale. But anyway, without further ado, see y'all next time! HaloZoo, out.